Welcome to part 7 of the Dark Forces lore play series. Last time we rescued Crix Medine from the Imperial Detention Center on Oranakra. So now that he's officially defected, he can give us more information on the Dark Trooper project. Crix tells us that there are 2 targets we need to destroy to stop Dark Trooper production. Unfortunately, their locations are secrets even to him, so we're gonna have to do a little digging. Crix does know that the project is supplied by smugglers and a mysterious kingpin, so we head to the Ramses Head docking port on the planet Cal Ceti. That's where we are right now. Our goal is to plant a tracking device onto a smuggling ship so we can find the location of the first target. In order to do that, we have to find 3 colored keys that will open up a gate to give us access to the ship. And it's about this time in the game that I learned that the citizens of Star Wars have zero regard for their security. Keys are left all over the place on this level, like this yellow key, it's just sitting here. Is Kyle really that good of a spy, or is the Empire just that careless with their keys? This is one of the first levels where Gran are more frequently used as enemies. In the official player's guide, there's a note from Kyle Katarn's journal that expresses his hope that he won't run into any Ree-Yees or Bosks on this mission. That's of course just ignorance on the part of the guide writers, and they call Gran and Trandoshans by their most famous character names instead of their actual species. But I do think it's hilarious to imagine Kyle being completely oblivious about non-human enemies. Well, while I search for the other 2 keys, why don't I talk about this planet? Cal Ceti was located in the core, not too far from Coruscant actually. It was right at the intersection of 2 major hyperlanes, the agricultural circuit and the Metelos trade route. That meant it was the prime spot for an Imperial spaceport, so the planet's capital, Ramses Head, was converted into one. The only other note of interest about this planet is that the Black Fleet was thought to be destroyed here about 4 years after the Battle of Yavin. And since there's almost no other lore surrounding this location, why don't we just talk about that for a while? Shortly after the Battle of Endor, a number of Imperial ships went missing and were assumed destroyed right around this planet. Those ships, known as the Black Fleet, included 3 Super Star Destroyers, at least 4 Imperial-class Star Destroyers, 2 Victory-class Star Destroyers, and around 30 more capital ships of various designs. Well, it turns out those ships weren't destroyed, but were actually captured by the Yavetha that were native to the planet N'Zoth, which isn't too far from Cal Ceti. The Yavetha captured the Black 15 shipyard that orbited their planet along with those 40-ish ships during the Imperial withdrawal. Since the Empire was in chaos after the Battle of Endor, they were just assumed destroyed and forgotten. 12 years later, the Black Fleet resurfaced under the control of the Yavetha, who had added hundreds of ships of their own. They threatened the New Republic for about a year until the surviving Imperial captives rose up and recaptured some of their ships. The captains were left to do as they saw fit. Many of them surrendered their Star Destroyers to the New Republic, some joined with the Imperial Remnant, and some simply went their own way. Sorry, that doesn't really have much to do with Dark Forces or even this planet, except that it all happened kinda nearby, but there's really nothing else to talk about. This is the first episode of this series that I've recorded since the second one came out, and I asked for people to submit Kyle Katarn jokes, so why don't I just read some of those? Revan21 says Jyn and Cassian were not killed by the Death Star, it was actually Kyle Katarn shooting his Briar pistol through dimensions to punish them for trying to be him. That was my favorite one, and I think it's the most original, so great job, Revan. I only regret not putting that in a video closer to Rogue One's release. Kyle Katarn once fell into a Sarlacc pit. After enduring excruciating pain, the Sarlacc spit him out and died. That's a play on a classic Chuck Norris joke, and I like it. Well done, Daniel S. Okay, I think I've padded this episode out enough, and wouldn't you know it, here's the ship, and boom, we've placed the tracking device. I'll keep reading the Katarn jokes next week, but feel free to submit more below for future episodes. If you'd like to see the rest of this series, watch it from the start with this playlist. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and consider checking out my Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.